Hi, thank you for joining today. My name's Matt Edmonds. I'm the Director of Admissions here in the Stetson Hatter School of Business. Again, thank you very much for joining. Today, we are joined by an MSBA graduate, Matt Green. Matt, thank you very much for joining me today.
Very happy to be here.
So
Thanks
we're going to go through it. We're going to have a quick, simple question and answer sort of format. And I definitely am excited to hear what you have to say. So all the beginning of it, talk a little bit about your undergraduate experience. What was your degree and sort of why did you choose the MSBA program?
Yeah, so my background was my undergraduates. I have one in business administration and then another in political science. I've always been interested, and then the political science was always in the. I enjoyed the data. I enjoyed understanding campaigns and how to orchestrate campaigns. So poli-sci was always something I was interested in at the time. And this is going back to the early 2000s. So at the time I was doing that, but I was also working in accounting. My family has accounting experience. And so I think I genetically was predisposed to accounting. So I wound up being in accounting, working in accounting, not CPA, but was working in various accounting departments. And so my undergraduate came out of my undergraduate and just maintained the accounting path career-wise. Yeah, so.
So coming to this is that as you were going through the investigative part, you decided you were going to go and get that graduate degree. There are an assortment of different programs. There are masters of data analytics, data science, business analytics, and even to this day, there's more and more coming in, especially to the Atlanta market every single year. But why did you choose Mercer?
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. So yeah, transitioning from the accounting, I was always interested in the analytics, the data side of things, the business intelligence of accounting and how business operates. And even going back to my undergraduate degree, like I mentioned, being interested in data. But I chose the Mercer program because I was working full-time for a company, and Mercer really offered the opportunity to have a flexible format to achieve higher education. So I was looking at various programs in the Metro Atlanta area, and there were different, and I live in the suburbs, the northern suburbs, and Mercer just was a prime location. I didn't have to go all the way downtown. It was close enough for me to get to. And really the format we had at the time, now I graduated back in 2017. So being part of the second cohort, the flexibility of weekend classes. I wanted to have a format of virtual plus in person, because I really value, even from an undergraduate perspective, I really valued being in a classroom, being around fellow students, being around faculty. And so knowing that, hey, I can do some virtual stuff, work all day, do virtual stuff at night, but then on Saturdays, I could, focus on school. That's ultimately what drove me to Mercer and what made the experience great.
Awesome. So as you got into that program, you found the program for you. What was your experience like within the program, and sort of what are the relationships that you built during your studies?
Yeah, the program right out the bat was everything I was looking for in terms of developing my data and analytics skills. I thought I knew what data and analytics was about, but being able to be put into the waters per se of what data and analytics are, and being immersed in it, to say, okay, like, it's not just a dashboard, it's not just this report. I mean, there are all these other things you can be doing from a statistical standpoint. And then one of the things I really enjoyed about it was the projects, being able to be assigned a project, to be assigned a task, and having to solve the problem. And ultimately, that's what drove me into what I'm doing now with product management. But being able to solve the problem with data, because I think that's most of what people are trying to do these days, and a lot of people are struggling with. But so that was definitely a valuable experience, the project-based work. And then my relationships, I met really good people in my cohort, people that I'm still connected to now. I actually teamed up with a student from China, Hao, and I teamed up with another friend of mine named John, and we really formed a great partnership when it came to developing these projects, developing these solutions. And I really valued that connection. We kind of went through the whole cohort together. We all sat together, and we really formed, I think, a friendship. So I like that a lot.
So you were working as you started this program. Obviously, there were certain reasons why you jumped into the program. So you were working. How did the program impact your career goals?
Yeah, so it absolutely did. So when I was working, I was a manager in an accounting department, and I was handling various things within that department. But having this was ultimately my career pivot. And that was my goal originally going into it. I said, I no longer want to do necessarily the traditional accounting work. I wanted to pivot into full-fledged data and analytics, and Mercer allowed me to do that. So it allowed me to pivot and refocus my career into what I ultimately wanted to do, and focus on that. And then ultimately, once I graduated, I was still at the company I was at for another year. And then I transitioned to a senior data analyst at a company called Teradata, which is a software analytic computing company, cloud computing company. And I really contribute a lot of that. I don't know if you call it resume builder kind of stuff. To say, hey, I've been through a program, I've been tried and tested, I understand what I'm talking about, and being able to talk to a company like that in that industry, the analytic industry, I think Mercer had a lot to do with that.
And so what was your favorite part of the program?
I'd have to say my capstone. The capstone was my favorite because it really pushed the limits of what I understood from all the stuff in the program, and really brought all that together for me. Those classes were, are modules, and you're learning things along the way. But my capstone was actually a business case that at the company I was working at, I took real data, built a real linear regression model, used PCA refactoring, you name it. I went through all this different stuff, and I came up with a working model for. Sorry, my dog's barking. A working model for the company I was working at. So it was able to predict the profitability of work orders. And I really thought that was cool. I was able to present it, and it was just real life. It was a real life program.
Good. So what are you doing now? Describe your position.
Yeah, so now I'm a senior product manager at a company called Amena Health. We're a SaaS billing platform company, and we help HR, benefit, and brokers with their manual tasks they do. So we help automate the invoice billing and payment of their insurance and within the insurance space.
And last question. So what advice would you give to someone who is contemplating starting an MSBA program?
Yeah, I would. The best advice and this is the advice I told myself along the way, you get out what you put in. Whatever you put into the program is what you're going to get out of it. If you're going into the program just to check the box on having a degree, a master's, I don't think that is enough. I think you need to go into it and give it everything you have, and then some, and really apply yourself, even beyond what you're expected to do. Because at the end of the day, when you come out of that program, you're going to be asked to do a lot of those things, and you're going to need to have those skills and that confidence to be able to do it. And so get out, put in what you want to get out. So I definitely give that advice.
Fantastic advice. Well, Matt, thank you very much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time, and I look forward for other people jumping in a bit later on as well. So Matt, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye.